Hello everybody and welcome back to what I believe is going to be the final episode of the Imperator segment of this mega campaign. Now there's currently a civil war brewing. That's not great. Let's go ahead and tick forward until the month tick and see what happens with that. Previously when we did that, it kind of went away. So hopefully that'll still happen. There's the month tick. And it is better, I think. Hang on. Who's actually disloyal? These guys are all considered loyal right now. Well, let's give that another month tick, shall we? Now, we are building a bunch of slave estates. That's definitely something that we are certainly interested in doing. And where are we going to build those? Well, everywhere we can right now. We'd like for those to import as decent infrastructure into Crusader Kings, which, by the way, CK3 currently has like 80% of the vote. So that's definitely a thing that is happening. That's a lot of gold to convert 3 population. You know what? We're just going to do this. Perfect. So yeah, CK3 currently has like 70% of the vote. Actually, 80%. Let me double check what it is at this exact moment. As of 11:41 a.m. yesterday, if you're watching this the day it comes out, we are at exactly a 20% to 80% split. 80% of people seem to want CK3. Okay, well, that's going to be interesting for sure. I'll have to try to think of some way to properly differentiate between the two CK3 campaigns. I generally don't like to have 2 campaigns of the same game ongoing at any given time, and I usually attempt to prevent that, but it may end up happening here. These barbs are over this way. We should probably try to go get them, but we'll see if we get there in time. Okay, they've attacked Tiram. That's absolutely fine. So we know that we have, what, like 12 years left, I think, if I remember correctly? Or maybe even less? Something like that. We'll take 15% national tax, sure. And we're also going to continue to build slave estates wherever we can. Beautiful. So the barbs are pillaging over here. They're actually only going to be able to hit 1 more location. Or did they not take losses there? Maybe that's just a rounding thing. Hard to say. Well, we're going to have the second army head on over. And they're going to cap right here if they can. That should be just fine. Excellent. How are we doing on our tech? I mean, we are wildly ahead of time. No doubt about that. We are going to get additional tech before the end of the game. That's for sure. And I don't think we get here in time. I think these barbs just disappear. We might just chill in Tiram. Yes. That is going to be some small amount of attrition. Actually, not that small. 4.1% attrition is pretty big. We could sit down here. That'll be fine. Our Great Wonder is, of course, underway. Will that get done before the end? Is it done? I think it might actually be done. Yes. So, I mean, we could bump up its tier. And if we wanted to do that, I would like to do, like... Actually, what is Fertile Nation 2? And we need that particular invention. Okay. In that case... Instead of Honored Tribesmen, I think I'd like to go to Honored Slaves too. And now we can afford this. So we'll do that. Cool. A Grand Festival. Okay, Integrated Culture Happiness. Sounds good. We could also think about potentially like Cultural Memorial too. Yeah, that's fine. We lack the gold for it at this exact moment. But I would love to go to Fertile Nation 2. I really don't think that that's a hugely great choice because we don't have that tech. So we could go for like, oh, that's awful. Not that. Unintegrated culture group happiness. I think we're just going to leave it be for now. We can colonize over in Norom, and so we shall. We'd definitely like to have all of this colonized up here by the end of the game. That would be ideal. I don't know how realistic that is. Probably not tremendously. And I don't know how that's going to import into Crusader Kings, because Crusader Kings doesn't have a colonization mechanic. Maybe they'll import as, like, separate kingdoms that we can conquer pretty quickly. I don't know. We'll have to see. I've never imported from Imperator into CK before. The last time we did the Mega Campaign, it was CK2, and there wasn't an importer at the time. So, we'll have to see. We are able to build more slave estates, of course, and so we shall, in all the locations that we can. We are looking to get those completely done. So we're trying to spend as little gold as possible right now. What is going on here? Are the Seleucids at war with Rome? They are. Okay. Well, if Rome continues to push in here, I mean, Anatolia is something that we want to go after. There's no doubt about it. But we'll have to deal with Rome to do it. If we weren't so close to the end of the game, I would consider a coattail war here. With the end of the game as close as it is, we likely can't finish the war by the end of the game, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to import at war, considering we're going to be jumping ahead like 700 years. So the war is just on pause for all that time. Hilarious. So I think we're not going to declare a coattail war. I would definitely consider it if we weren't super close to the end. Which we absolutely are super close. No doubt about it. It's currently January of 717. And we're kind of planning to take this straight up to the end. This particular episode. So, local population happiness, that's a lot of gold. For only one province happiness, pass. Okay, sounds good. We never got this mission done, but I blame the Seleucids. And we're taking our time, right? This is a mega campaign. We're not trying to get as far as we can in Imperator. That's not the goal here. We're going to be able to call down Zoroaster soon enough. But we can also build another slave estate. And so we shall. It doesn't really matter where we build it. There's a lot available to build, and I doubt we're going to get all the way through that by the end of the game, considering that that's not too far away. I want to say that the end is 727. I'm just remembering from yesterday. Hopefully. Did I remember correctly? Let's find out. Imperator end date. I really should remember this. 18th of February, 727. Okay. Yup. So we've got a little bit under 10 years to go here. Sounds good. The slave estate is going to be built in Zoden. And we went somewhere around 10 years with the last episode, so that's fine. We're mostly just going to be building up here and preparing. So I don't know how a lot of these things are going to import into Crusader Kings. That's going to be very interesting to see. And we can't really make any hard and fast plans without seeing that. I think it's pretty safe to say, though, that Rome, the Seleucids, Magadan, Egypt, and Carthage are going to be the big players here. Along with us. We will be a big player. One of our primary early goals is probably going to be to take, like, traditionally Ottoman territory circa Europa, right? That's probably going to be one of our primary goals. So, like, taking something like this. Ish. Maybe, like, taking some Mamluk territory as well. But that's going to be our primary goal there. We would like to expand out towards India, perhaps, as well, if we have time. We probably will. Crusader Kings is a very long game. We'll spend a long time in Crusader Kings. There's no doubt about that. We'll be able to get another one of these constructions going on this month tick. There we go. Excellent. And we should be importing into Crusader Kings with a pretty strong start. So that's very good to know. We'll be able to take over Dahai very quickly. Things like the Sequanian Revolt, Teutonia. These should import in as our vassals, in theory, I think. A library, huh? Sure. Go ahead and do that. That's absolutely fine. We could think about foundries. This is an okay one. Or actually, that's a pretty good one. We don't really need anything other than that, though, so that'll be fine. Cool. So yeah, I think our primary focus in like the early game of Crusader Kings will be taking this territory here, getting like that traditionally Ottoman territory. Of course, we're Armenian. We're not Ottomans, but we're pretending to be Ottomans. We're probably going to rename ourselves to the Ottoman Empire at some point, but we're going to keep Armenian culture because I think it's funny. So that'll be great. That's, oh, look at that. Rome did take territory. Cool. That'll definitely be funny to be Armenian Ottomans. There's definitely no historical irony there whatsoever. Not at all. We'll continue to construct here, and we currently do have a civil war brewing. That is due to Vahan Amatuni here. We'll just bribe him. I'm not interested in fighting a civil war at this time. We're kind of just waiting out the end of this particular game, and it's not going to be very long. So that is fine. If we have to go a little longer to get to the end this episode, we'll do it. What episode is this? 54? Okay, that's not exactly a round number. I like to end on round numbers, but I wasn't expecting the game to come to a conclusion quite this swiftly. So here we are. It'll be fine. So we have our idea for how we're going to handle the early game of Crusader Kings down, right? So we're going to look at targeting this area for the early game. For the mid game, what's our plan going to be? Well, that's an interesting question for sure. We'll just finish this up so that we can say we finished up all of that siege tech. What's the mid game going to look like? Probably conquering like Mamluk territory and some Indian territory over this way, like spreading eastward. And then in the late game, spreading a bit westward, I think would be our goal. That said, I do believe that in Crusader Kings, it will be extraordinarily possible to conquer the entire world from this start. Like, I think that'll be extremely simple. So that's definitely something to think about. We could go for an entire world conquer in Crusader Kings. Of course, that's not the entire world. The map of Crusader Kings is broadly similar to what we see here, although it's got some additional African territory. It's got some additional Eastern European territory and some additional Scandinavian territory up here. Well, that's quite a lot of gold. We can do a decision here. The Iberia Mons restoration, huh? Do it. We got free gold for it, so we may as well. Excellent. We'll queue up a few more slave estates as well. And that'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, I do think it's very possible to do a world conquer in Crusader Kings from this start. We'll have to be a little cautious of the Roman Kingdom and the Seleucid Empire at first, but I think that we can do it, for sure. And then the question becomes Europa. Are we going to go for a world conquer in Europa? Probably not. Reason being, I'd like some excuse to get to Victoria. And in Victoria, I tend to focus a lot more heavily on economy than on conquest. So we would then do like we did previously and finish off the conquest in Hearts of Iron, would be the overall concept here. If we manage to get the world conquest done before then, which is possible if we decide to go for it. If we manage to get that done quicker, then maybe we'll skip the others. Well, I mean, we will skip the others. There's nothing to be done there, right? In that situation, I think we definitely add in a Kerbal Space Program segment. But I think that'll be more focused than the last one. Like, what would the Ottoman goal in Kerbal Space Program be, right? That's the question that we're asking here. And not tribal settlements, slave estates. There we go. Perfect. What would the Ottoman goal be in Kerbal Space Program? Honestly, that's a very good question. And one that we would want to possibly set up in the actual starting scenario for Stellaris. It's something to think about. It's a long ways in the future. So that's still fairly nebulous, right? We don't really know what we're looking at there. We're going to queue up a couple more slave estates here. Excellent. It is currently 7:20, so there's not a lot of time left. We do have 7 years. Do we want to attack Dahai again? I mean, we could always fabricate a claim. Let's do it. Let's cap this off with some conquest. I'm kind of tired of just sitting around and building. If we have this under control over here, that will go a long ways, in my opinion, to solidifying our position in CK. Reason being, we'll have multiple fronts to fight the Seleucid on, and that's actually a good thing in Crusader Kings because of the way that the siege versus battle mechanics work. So that would be actually to our benefit. We'll go ahead and do that, and we are going to continue to construct slave estates at the same time. So we'll be done getting this on 1 December 721. Not a lot of time here. So we're going to have to position carefully. We'll have these guys here. These guys can be... Well, we're going to need to be close to one of our armies here. Dahai has been downgraded to a regional power from a major power, so that is completely fine. We shouldn't have any real problems here. We will continue to construct. And yeah, we're hoping to get this done quite quickly. I mean, there's 2 capitals here, right? And then there's this over here, which is a little bit awkward. So there's something up here. We'll probably have these guys come down this way, because I think that's a fort. Yeah, that's a fort. So we'll come down this way, and these will stop up here. Yeah, this will be a better plan. We'll need to move quickly. We can't do this like we did the previous war with Dahai, that's for sure. We are about 40% done with that claim, but I want to get this war done before the end of the game. So that should, in theory, be nice and quick. 1 December, huh? And we'll have like 5 years to complete this war in? It should be okay. We should have enough time. Sounds good. There should be also minimal pausing in that war. This won't be a challenging war. These guys do not need to be on road build. You can stop that. Thanks. Hi, pause menu. It's been a while. Bountiful harvest, huh? 3 stability or 1,200 gold. We are taking the 1,200 gold because we want to invest that as early as possible for the purposes of Crusader Kings. We want all of these slave estates to be constructed as soon as possible. We want our economy to be just ludicrously strong going into Crusader Kings. We'll grab 2.5% additional national tax. Because if our economy is amazing compared to Rome and the Seleucids, and even if our tech is better, I'm not sure how the tech will import either, but even if that's better, that will be a huge leg up for us, which will all be very important. Now, Samaz Oraduni here is being an absolute jerk. We're going to bribe him. He's fine. He is absolutely fine here. We have about 6 months until our claim is done. These guys are going to walk in over to here. We want to move as quickly as we can. We don't know if they're going to be raising any forces over here, but if they don't, then these guys will walk over this way. Otherwise, they will protect our siege force. And these guys will just move in down this way and then head down like that. Cool. Let us continue to construct. There's a lot of estates being built at the same time. No doubt about it. Excellent. There's a barbarian force up here. We don't care. They can do whatever they want. Granaries have been raided. The governor can cover the cost. It's his responsibility, not ours. Wonderful. Another slave estate going in. And we will declare this as soon as we can. 1 December is the goal. 1 more month. And Yeah, we had some people die. There's our CP. We do need a new physician. It'll be this gentleman here. And let's go ahead and declare this. Cool. We're going to have these guys move up just in case they have troops over here. And then these guys, of course, they're going to move in over here. We don't know where the capital is down here. Ah, it's down here. Got it. We'll start that siege. We don't have any siege engineers there, but that should be fine. Okay, so we can see their force here. We don't want to walk into that. So we're going to come over this way with this force, which we can walk into it. That's absolutely fine. 4.58 morale. They have slightly higher morale than we do, and that is, of course, because we are on low army maintenance. We'll boost this up to maximum army maintenance for right now. That'll be fine. And we can also get ourselves a new invention here, which will be build time reduction. Cool. So these guys are locked in here. We are going to head in and begin sieging their location. Okay. You know what? Let's turn around. Those are barbs. Never mind. We're not going to do anything with those barbs. They're just chilling over there. So I believe this is our primary force. Did we stack wipe them? We did not. And we can't come over this way due to this fort. So we're going to have to stay here for the moment. They're actually retreating down into the Seleucid Empire. That's kind of hilarious. So we can see here, we're locked into this, and apparently we're going to lose this battle. I think that's because we don't have a commander. Yeah. So we're going to definitely put in a new commander. It will be this guy. And there we go. That means that it's much more likely that we win. Our commander is worse than theirs. However, their commander is going to leave on 2 March. Okay, we're going to hit their commander here, which is a little unfortunate, but we do win this unless they manage to reinforce in time, which they did, but we're still winning, and we won. These guys are locked in, as are these guys, so we're going to fight that. That's absolutely fine. This siege will be finished soon enough. 14%. Okay. So obviously, they're attacking us here. We're routing their armies, so that's perfect. And we're going to head down and siege. 28% on this siege. Sounds good. Now these guys are being jerks over this way. We'll head up over there. This siege should be done very shortly. We do need a new civic researcher, and it'll be this guy. Sandstorm has broken out over this way. That's fine as well. These guys are going to move up over this way, but they're going to stay behind this force for the time being. Okay, so this siege will finish up shortly. There are a couple of sieges to go down here. It's 722 right now. They're walking into us, which is kind of funny. Pop cap is coming up. That's fine. We'll grab additional taxation. And we will construct additional slave estates. There we go. Okay, and up we go. We should arrive over here fairly shortly. And yeah, we're just crushing this force, as expected. We have a new military tradition available. We could grab whatever we want here. It really doesn't matter. I think we're going to grab foot sloggers, but yeah, it doesn't matter. We do need to deal with Vahan Amatuni, which is this guy here. And he's dealt with. Cool. And yeah, we're just absolutely crushing them. Beautiful. So these guys are going to head over here. For now, these are going to target this fort over this way. Beautiful. We do need a new royal tutor. Excellent. That fort falls. We're going to head up here, see if we can catch this levy. I think we do. Yes. Beautiful. So we're going to head over here. There we go. Get this levy on the retreat. We do need a new governor here. That's fine. Although, really? 0.01%? That's very rude. We're going to hope that that goes away with tyranny. Cool. These guys are now going to head down this direction to reinforce this area, just in case. We don't have any particular reason to assume that there's going to be a problem here. Actually, we do. These guys retreated to this exact location, and we're locked in. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Can we retreat? Yes, we can. That's a perfect retreat. Not a big deal. Okay, so we cap this. We're going to walk over. Actually, we're going to walk over this way. They have a lot of troops over here, and we definitely need to see about doing something about that. We're 41% war score right now. And our retreat is going okay. No big deal there. We're going to walk in here and here. Beautiful. This looks good. In fact, this looks very good. Okay, so they're walking in here with quite a large number of troops. Do we catch this one? No, so we're going to reinforce. Now, we don't have troop numbers here, but we have tech, we have morale. Should be fine. These guys are going to walk down over here. Excellent. Oh, and we have discipline, too. That's another thing that we have. So let's go for our smaller unit here. They're going to come up here and siege. These guys, for now, they're going to chill where they're at. We can colonize up over here, and so we shall. We're also going to call down Zoroaster. Perfect. And we need a governor in Scythia. There we go. Hello, pause menu. And we also need to construct a few slave estates. There we go. Cool. So these guys are going to reinforce for a little bit. We can see that their main army is retreating down this direction. So we're going to head over here. Cool. That's what I thought. Okay. We're going to siege over here. That should fall fairly quickly. Sounds good. These guys are going to head up here. And these guys, for the time being, they're just going to chill over this way. Now, it's 7:23. Actually, if they're going to sit here, we're going to walk in and fight them. This is fine. This is completely fine. Now, they're attacking us up here. We did not succeed in that siege. And we're not going to win this either, despite what the game thinks. We're going to retreat again. We need to cover this. Unfortunately, they just have a lot of troops around. It's very rude. Okay. So we're going to send the smaller force up here then. We need to deal with this. That's for sure. These guys are going to head down and siege here. They just have a lot of little armies running around, and any one of those armies can threaten our siege force, which is fine. Our siege force is not, after all, designed to fight. So that's okay. These guys I want to position up here because I want to fight this force. Cool. So we're going to siege over here. There's a lot of troops in this area for sure. And we need a martial researcher. We'll put this guy in. Okay. So we fight this force, no problem. These guys are going to walk back over. And we're just going to park over here for the time being. These guys are walking past this force, which I think is kind of funny. In fact, I think that's rather funny. This army has no leadership. Yeah, that's true. To be expected. Let's just park here for the time being. Okay. So this fort will fall pretty soon. We're going to move these guys in. And we're going to make sure this fort falls. This is absolutely vital. Okay. We win here. We're going to walk in over this way. We actually won here already as well. So we're going to walk in over this way and fight both of these forces. These are two quite large forces that we are going to do damage to. And we're almost at 100% war score here. Cool. We will reach 100% war score fairly soon. Now, they're going to cap some of these territories back. They just have a million little armies here, and it's very rude of them. I wish that they didn't. But I think we're going to send this force up over this way. And then these guys are going to cap over here. That's fine. So we're going to need to head northward and see about just wrapping up this war. It is 7:24, so we've got plenty of time on that front. Cool. Actually, you need to head up over this way. We're at 85 war score right now. And we just lost our high priest, so we'll put in this gentleman. Cool. No real need for these guys anymore. There we go. They just have so many tiny little forces. Okay. Well, we win this battle. We're at 84% right now. So we'll cap this. And then we're going to come in and fight these guys. We're going to fight these guys. Like, we're going to fight everybody. That's how this is playing out. We're going to cap this. And then these lads, they're going to need to head back down over here. They're recapping this, because of course they are. And now we're going to come over here. We're just having a very hard time actually stack wiping their force, is the problem. Okay, I want to let these guys lock in. Any moment now. Hang on. No, this is not capped, nor is this. Okay, so we're going to have to come over here. There we go. So we're going to cap that, and we're going to fight these guys. And then we're going to walk down over here, like so. Fighting on the way. We don't care about them occupying our territory. That's actually completely fine. These barbs are obnoxious, though. That's for sure. So we're definitely having a hard time dealing with their number of troops. But in all honesty, we're not having a difficult time with this war. It's just they have a lot of little armies, right? And they hired a bunch of mercs. Like, that's the only issue right now. So we're going to cap this, and we're going to send these guys up over this way for the time being. Well, they can't really get away with fighting this, and that's additional mercs that they hired. Very rude. We'll colonize over there, and these guys are going to head over here. That will be necessary. We're going to fight off these guys down here from our territory. Actually, I think we just stack wiped one. Maybe not. That was a stack wipe, though. And hopefully this will be too. Yes, that was a stack wipe as well. Beautiful. So we're going to head over here. Sequanian Revolt wants military access. That's not surprising. Okay, we have that capped. These guys are going to head back up north. Okay. Now we need to chase down some of these stacks and take this territory. That's the only thing that we need right now. We have some time. We can go ahead and build in Hakar here. And we need a governor in Cappadocia. That's completely okay as well. And we'll just spam out a few slave estates. There we go. Barbarians, we don't care. We'll head up over this way. And these guys are going to head over here. Cool. So we're going to see about fighting some of these forces and get this war wrapped up once and for all. So we dealt with those mercs, and now we're going to walk up all the way over this way. Cool. We need both of our armies up over here. And we'll send these guys to go take this back, I suppose. That'll be fine. So at this point, all we need is to defeat these barbarians and to take out these last couple of tiny little armies over here. This isn't really a problem, right? So we'll be completely okay. We do need a religious researcher. We'll put this guy in. Cool. So we're just going to pursue these guys. There's some mercs back over here now. And more mercs potentially coming in. So we're going to need to go deal with those mercs. That's okay. We stack wipe this. So all we need to do is eliminate these barbarians and make sure that these mercs don't manage to capture anything. Is this occupied? No, it is not. So we're going to have to occupy that. The mercs must have de-occupied it. Well, up we go. We'll deal with these barbarians and cap that. We'll occupy this. And these guys are headed down. But I think we have the time. Yes, we have time. Beautiful. 100% war score. We'll sue for peace, and we're going to take everything that they've got. Literally everything. That's only 33 aggressive expansion. We'll take it. And we'll lose half a point of aggressive expansion. Beautiful. And for right now, we'll just leave these guys camped like here, here, and here. I'm not going to bother building additional roads. There's not actually a point. We'll put in a couple of governors, and we need to deal with Zarmahir Polypershid. Okay, that is this guy. We can't currently bribe him because he's honest, but we can give him free hands. And so we shall. And we are almost done with this game. We've got under a year left. And of course, remember that we are, in fact, going to be continuing this game in Crusader Kings. We'll build a couple of farming settlements. Not that they're going to get finished, but we'll get them queued up anyway. Excellent. And this is our final state. I'm reasonably happy with that. We've definitely made good progress, especially considering how long we've had borders with Rome and the Seleucid Empire. And now we have borders with the Magadhan Empire as well. So that's definitely something to consider. We have all three of the big boys on our border. That will definitely make Crusader Kings a little bit more interesting. And that's very, very good. Make sure to have your voice be heard on whether it's CK2 or CK3. That has not, as of the time this video goes live, been decided yet. But it's looking like it's going to be CK3, and it will be decided about 6-ish hours after this video goes up. Like 4 to 6 hours later. So make sure to have your voice be heard if it's still valid. And we will definitely move on to Crusader Kings one way or the other. We've got about 1 month left here. We are in the final little bit here. 18 February, I believe, is the final day. We do need a new Chancellor. We'll put one in. Excellent. And we'll not go into debt. I don't want to import in debt. Thank you very much. Okay. Here's the last slave estate that we can queue up. And this will be the end. And there we go. The Armenian people have built an empire that shall be remembered by history as being first amongst its peers. Despite our travails, Armenia continues to prosper, and will surely do so until the end of time. Indeed. So we're going to continue playing here, and the reason that we're going to do that is so that we can make a save for purposes of the import. So that save will be what gets imported into Crusader Kings. It's well past time to put a cut in here, of course, and the game just came to an end. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we will get situated in Crusader Kings. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.